Hello, welcome everybody back to the 80slashers.com YouTube channel. In today's video, as you can see, we will be taking a look at Final Exam. This is a film that was made in 1981. Um, it This is a film you can even tell kind of by the cover. The this film was clearly inspired by Halloween. Um, this was, even though it was released just over a year after um, the original Friday the 13th was released, this was, I'm gonna guess that this was probably, written, filmed, all that stuff, maybe before or during the time that Friday the 13th was released, because there's not a lot of similarities with that film, um, but it's almost impossible to watch this and not see some of the clear influences that it's taken from John Carpenter's Halloween. Even this cover art, which is fantastic, by the way, I love this. It he kind of looks like Michael Myers. He is the big, menacing, dark, shadowy presence holding a huge knife. Um, yeah, but besides that, the music is clearly ripped off. Like the opening, like the kind of the theme or the score um, to the film is clearly a ripoff of the music that John Carpenter wrote and used in his Halloween film. Um, and besides that, there's the stalking aspect. A lot of the lurking in the background. You see, like just like a hand driving a van, or peeking out behind trees and bushes. A lot of stalking, which if you go back and watch Halloween, that's the formula. Just Michael Myers is always lurking in the background, watching until he finds the right moment to pounce, and that's what this film does quite a bit. So yeah, so there's that, and I think they did a good job. The only thing I found is that Halloween has obviously a lot of tension. This film, not so much. There's not yeah, I didn't find that the stalking scenes produced a lot of tension and build up to the kills. There was some, but it's not the strong suit of this film, I would say. Um, the one of the things that I really liked about this film, and you can kind of see it on the cover as well, is the college campus setting. Um, it's great. I love these slashers that are set at a yeah, campus setting, and this one does an especially good job of it. Some other films, um, films like The House on Sorority Row, that one's mostly focused within the sorority house. The dorm that dripped blood, again, it's mostly within that large dormitory. Um, in this film, they utilize the entire campus really well. There's scenes inside like the dorm rooms. There's some really good scenes inside the school gymnasium, like the exercise room and the actual gymnasium and the locker room. This the campus grounds, the college, the courtyard. There's scenes inside of a classroom. There's scenes inside of a professor's offices, a cafeteria. Like they go over the entire campus, and it just really sets um, a tone for this film. It really establishes where it's taking place and the characters, and you really believe that you're following college students around, like a day in the life of college students. That's what it really feels like. So I really like that about this film. It just has a good look. And to go with that, another thing that I like, which I've heard some people do not like about this film, but I really I like the characters in this film. Um, it's they really follow the um, like the Animal House style of characters. You have like the jockey rich kid with like the preppy clothes and the expensive car. You have the crazy wild. His name's Wild Man in this. Wild Man, the crazy frat boy that he's drinking and partying and making jokes. And there's that guy. There's like the brainy nerdy like the brainy nerd. There's like the popular, like the popular girl that's you know always flirting and doing stuff with the boys. There's the good girl, the studious good girl. Then there's like the typical freshmen, like the recruits into like the sororities and fraternities that the older students are picking on and hazing and stuff like that. So yeah, when you couple the characters with like the school setting, it has a really good feel. I really like this. I really like that whole aspect of this film. It's almost like Animal House, but a slasher. It kind of has that feel. And I love those, the college comedy type things. They're like Revenge of the Nerds and like yeah, Animal House. Like those things are a lot of fun. And this has that feel, but it's a slasher film, so it's fantastic. I really like that. Now, the big thing, like if you're familiar with this movie and if you've read reviews and like the debate online, the big thing that most people have a problem with this film is what I'm gonna call like the motive debate. Um, Half of the fans don't like this film because the killer has no motive. There's no backstory. There's no reason why he's doing what he's doing. He just shows up, unnamed, no reason. He just shows up at the campus and just starts killing people. And people don't like that. People like, at the end there was like a reveal, an explanation, like, oh, he was scorned by someone, an ex-girlfriend or his mother's. There's always like a backstory in these films as to why they're doing it. In this one, there's not. It's straight up is just a maniac on campus going around killing people for the sake of killing people. Um, I like that. I don't need to be for there to be a big reveal or anything. Like it's nice. I like that. It's nice to have the twist and the surprise at the end, the mystery. Um, but it's okay if it doesn't have it, which this film doesn't. The last film I reviewed on this channel was the Slumber Parody Massacre, and it was the same thing. And I love that film as well. Yeah, it's just a crazy killer on the loose. There's no surprise, no reveal. It's just killing for the sake of killing, for our pure entertainment of watching it. And yeah, that's the case in this film, and I really like it. So yeah, it's this is a fun film. Um, as for the kills in this film, it's 50-50 for me. Some of the kills were off screen, but there were a few that happened on screen, and the ones that we saw on screen were pretty good. There was a couple, there was a few practical effects that we got. There was some pretty good, decent blood. And even the ones that were kind of off screen, like his weapon of choice is the knife, and you don't really see the practical effects, but you can see like from a distance in the shadow. Sometimes he's just on top of someone, just repeatedly, just you just see his arm, and just like multiple 10, 15, 20 stab motions, and it's there's something about that visual. Even though you're not seeing the blood, you're not seeing the penetration, like the special effects or anything, you're seeing the action as if you were witnessing it from a distance, and it's brutal. It's really yeah. I just something about it. I like. I'm gonna give the kills a thumbs up in this one. Like I said, not a lot of blood, not a lot of practical effects, but there's enough there that it's entertaining, and yeah, it's well done. Yeah. Um, the other thing this film, like I said, I'll go back to the characters. there's really good character development in this film. A lot of times you don't get that. A lot of them they're carbon copy cutout type characters. And even though the roles that I discussed are very similar to most of these films, you spend more time with these characters and you kind of get to know them. So the character development is really good. Again, certain people feel that that's a detriment to this film. It's really slow. Um, and there's not a lot of kills in the middle section, which is true. You start off with like the opening kill, and then there's a lot of character development, and then at the end, all the action happens. That's the case with this film. So if you don't like that, if you want kills every 5-10 minutes, that's not what this film is. Um, but it kind of makes it. I don't know. I like that because you get to know these characters, and it's not like all your favorite characters survive because they don't. The people that you see and you like, and the people that you don't like, they don't necessarily survive because of that. So yeah, I like the character development in this, and like I said before, I like the characters. Like they're all. There's a couple characters like the nerd. His name is Radish. He's so good. He's just he's he's obsessed with serial killers. It's kind of like a meta. He's always talking about like serial killers, like these people killing just for the sake of killing, and that's what happens in this movie. So it's kind of a weird twist like that. It's clever. Um, yeah, so it's in that sense, it's really fun. The the only thing I'll say, like I said, I kind of skipped over this, but with the type of killing and like the tension, there's no jump scares in this film, which like so there's not a lot of tension and there's no jump scares, so you're like, is it not scary? For me, no, it's not a scary film. Some of these films still have the capability of scaring me and making me feel really anxious and tense when I watch them. This isn't one, but it's fun. The setting's fun. The characters are fun. It's good development. This is a good film. I like this film. And one of the best things is the ending of it, like the final chase slash fight sequence. Um, it's really fun. It's not it's brief. They wrap it up pretty quickly. Um, but yeah, it's a fun ending. I really like it. It's satisfying. Um, yeah, this is a good film. I really like this one. I feel like it gets a lot of flack. A lot of people kind of don't like this film. Some people really like it. People like myself, but there's other people who are like, "Ah, Final Exam, too slow. Killer has no motive. It's just kind of stupid." It's too bad because I like this film. Um, so yeah, so if what I said sounds interesting to you, I would find a copy, check it out. It's pretty good. It's an early, like I said, it's an early slasher. Um, yeah. Now for the Blu-ray, again, this is another one that was released by Scream Factory. They do a really good job. This looks amazing, looks and sounds amazing on my system. They did a really good job of cleaning it up. It looks fantastic. This is definitely the best way to watch this film. Um, yeah, the special features, there's not much. You get the new transfer, which is great. There's a commentary track, and there's only basically three interviews with three of the cast members in a trailer. So for special features, there's not much, but again, that's all right with me. Um, yeah. So that's basically it. That's the entire thing. I think inside there's nothing. It's pretty no yeah, no reversible artwork, just a straight up disc. So yeah, so that's it. Final Exam. So again, if you haven't seen this film or if you haven't seen it in a while, go back and check this one out. For what it is, more of a character-driven slasher. Um, it's fun. Like I said, the highlights for me is the setting, the feeling of this, the college campus setting, and like the Animal House type cast. It comes together really well, and you throw in some pretty decent kills, and this is a really fun um, early '80s slasher. So yeah, that's it. So all right, so until next time, all right, see you later.